Jay Vander called it maybe best practice of the year. He felt like passes were crisp, and I know it wasn't a long one, but what was your sense being out there on the guys' engagement in trying to get everything right?
We got what we needed today. We had a good meeting and good skate, and guys were buzzing.
Jay, mentally, when you have a setback like last night and you focus on the day's business, what does the day's business look like in that dressing room?
Today you were talking about? Well, you know what? I think we review last night. We review where we're at with our team game, and then you go down to work. Win or lose the game, it doesn't matter. We get back down to work and take care of our business, and our guys did a good job of that today, and we're looking forward to bringing that kind of spirit into tomorrow night's game.
So what a practice like today, where Evander said it was sharp, what are the things that you look at as a coach that makes you say, like, okay, maybe there's some things that you're noticing differently, or just you do not really read that deep into it?
You know what? For me, it was, where our headspace is at. Obviously, no one likes waking up and looking at the standings and where our team's at right now, but it's an understanding that there's some work to do, and we went out and we diligently went through making sure we took care of our business today. And, it was sharp, it was crisp, it was a good skate.
In watching that game over from last night, did it reaffirm or change any opinions you had?
No, I think what we felt on first viewing up close at ice action, it matched what we saw in the video. There were some good parts of the game, but certainly some areas that have to get cleaned up. And when you're not outscoring your mistakes and they end up in the back of your net, you got to make sure you're limiting the mistakes.
Speaking of not outscoring mistakes, some of the guys after the game were kind of flummoxed by just the fact that the offense is where it is. What do you see on that side?
That's a good word, flummoxed, eh? Yeah. I don't know. You didn't know how to spell that, DMD.
I might not.
So sorry, what was the question?
I don't remember. No, just how do you explain the offense? How do you kind of get it back to where it needs to be?
Well, last year we're the number one team in offense in the league. It didn't start that way. It grew into that over time. I think we had all 12 forwards when we traded for Bukestad, all finished with double-digit goals, career years out of a lot of people. We did a lot of good things. This year, it seems like getting to 3 goals is a challenge for us early in the year. I think you worry when you're not creating the scoring chances. But for me, if you look up what we're creating, how we're finishing, I think the finish can improve. It's not nearly good enough, but for us, finish sometimes just happens based on volume. For me, we got to take care of the other side of things first.
I wonder, from the offensive side, just what's more concerning, maybe the top guys are struggling right now, or the bottom guys in the lineup have a lot of goose eggs next to their name?
Well, I think what's concerning is that we haven't scored enough goals to win. 2 seems to be our number of late, and we're capable of better. It starts with good power plays. It starts with making sure you're finding second and third efforts around the other team's goaltender, not allowing another team's goaltender to be first star. And there's some things that you can do to make sure that you're taking care of that. For us, you are going to the offensive side, it's certainly an area we want to improve, but when it's not going your way, you got to make sure that you limit the stuff that is going the other way.
So that becomes the question. Your team's good enough to get 40 shots, tons of chances, pressing the net, going to the blue paint, all those things, but it's not going in. You can't coach the puck into the net, can you?
Well, I was going to ask you. I thought you had all the answers, so I was going to ask you. For me, you know what? I think you worry when you're not getting chances. We're all over the net. We have talented people that it's a matter of time before they find the back of the net. I think if you pressure people up, then they don't feel good. So for us, we want to just talk about continuing to do the things that are finding us in those chances, but there might be a few things that we can give them, kernels of information that might be able to help them, and we think once the dam breaks, the dam will break. Just like last year, we ended up the highest scoring team in the league.
What are you seeing from Connor and Leon right now?
What am I seeing? I'm seeing 2 individuals that are giving us everything they have. It hasn't gone perfectly for them individually or us collectively as a team. And, they wear that because they're such proud individuals. They're great leaders. And I think, once our team gets going in the right direction here, that eases some of that burden for them.
Jay, do you find that some of your players are gripping their sticks too tight? And if so, what's the communication like to your players?
Well, just to relax. We want them to play, not to press. And if they do that, over time, those things even out. And as I said before, you worry when you don't get the chances.
That message of play and not press, is that something that everyone understands collectively, or is it maybe something you have to give to certain guys differently just because everybody interprets things differently, or how does that work from your perspective?
I think you communicated to the entire group, and that is something that we've shared with our guys. But for me, it's also your daily communication. It's one-on-one meetings. It's showing somebody the scoring chances they've been involved in. It's showing someone that maybe has had a tough time converting, showing them where they've had success in the past, catching them doing some certain things correctly to try and build up that confidence. Sometimes it's repping it out in practice. There's lots of ways to do that. In the end, we want to continue to create scoring chances. We just want to convert at a higher rate.
Have you always been that way, where you've been like, hey, let's focus more on the positive and then maybe work in the not-so-positives, or how does that work for you in terms of your evolution?
Well, I think there's different ways to get to different people. You're coaching on our team 20 different individuals, and you have to learn the buttons that need to be pressed. Some people respond to the carrot, so to speak, and some people respond to the stick, so to speak. And I think when you know your players the way we do, and you have a history with the players as we do, you have a feeling for what they respond to. But in terms of catching people doing it right, I think everybody responds to seeing themselves having a little bit of success.
Vander earlier said we don't worry about the standings. All we want to do is win a game.
Yeah.
And I wonder just if you echo kind of the exact same thoughts.
Well, I mean, that goes to Tony's first question too, right? You want to make sure you're taking care of your business on the day, because really that's all you can control. I think one of our players came in today. They were talking about how we're 7 points out of a playoff spot right now. We found ourselves in this position in February of 2022, and we didn't get out of it by focusing on the big picture or the monumental task ahead. It was taking care of that night's business, and we think if we do that and we get a little bit of success, because you need some success to have that belief system reaffirmed, then it takes one to start a streak.